In this video, I will be showing you the implementation of MobX in Flutter. MobX is a state management library that makes it simple to connect the reactive data of your application with the UI. This wiring is completely automatic and feels very natural. As an application developer, you'll focus purely on what reactive data needs to be consumed in the UI, without worrying about keeping the two in sync. At the heart of MobX, there are three important concepts, which are observables, actions, and reactions. Observables represent the reactive state of your application. They can be simple scalars to complex object trees. By defining the state of the application as a tree of observables, you can expose a reactive state tree that the UI consumes. Actions are how you mutate the observables. Rather than mutating them directly, actions add a semantic meaning to the mutation. For example, instead of just doing value plus plus, firing an increment action carries more meaning. Besides, action also batch up all the notification and ensure the changes are notified only after they complete. Thus, the observers are notified only upon the atomic completion of the action. Reactions are the observers of the reactive system and get notified whenever an observable they track is changed. So this is the basic definition of MobX in Flutter. Now I will show you how to implement MobX state management library in Flutter code. So this is the basic definition of MobX in Flutter. Now I will show you how to implement MobX state management library in Flutter code. So here I have created a simple Flutter counter app, and firstly, we have to add Flutter MobX library into the project. In this tutorial, I will use build runner library as well for code generation. You can check out to our build runner tutorial for more details about this library. So firstly, I will create a folder that handles everything about MobX. Then I will create a counter store class, mixing with the store class from MobX. Here I will add the part keyword for build runner to generate code for this file. So in the counter store abstract class, we need a count variable for this counter application. And we need to make this count variable reactive by adding an observable tag above the count variable. So now the count variable becomes observables. Next, for the counter application, we need an increment function and a decrement function. So the increment function will add one value to the count observables, while the decrement function will minus one value from the count observable. So these two functions are so-called actions, and to tag them as actions, we need to add an action tag above the function. Next, the last step is to run the build runner command to generate the code. And this is the command. For more details about build runner package, feel free to check out to our build runner tutorials. Once the command completed, you can see that a counter.g.file is created. And inside this file, we have all the boilerplates created by build runner. So now we have completed with our counter store class. Coming back to our main UI file, we can now integrate the counter store class into the UI. Firstly, we have to create an instance of the counter store class. And for the count value below, we can no longer display a text widget, but we have to wrap with observer widget and return the text widget in the builder function. And the count value will comes from the counter store.count. Now we can try to run the application. Let me adjust the size of the text widget. So now when we click on the increment elevated button, nothing happens. This is because we haven't added the increment function into the elevated button. Now we just have to add the counter store.increment function into the elevated button on press. Same goes to decrement elevated button. Now let's try out in the simulator. So as you can see, when I click on the increment elevated button, the count value incremented reactively. Same for the decrement elevated button. So this is how we integrate MobX state management library in Flutter code. If you have any question, feel free to comment below. Here comes to the end of the tutorial. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next tutorial.